Friend, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome back. I'm going to tell you about the full moon in Leo. On the thumbnail, I have all kinds of people on there because there was this really monumental thing that happened Sunday night for all of us to see. And these are the energies that the full moon is bringing in. So I'm Key Tyler. This is Astrology in the Wild. And here we talk about the Leo full moon. We see, and I have the moon on the first house because I'm reading for the moon collectively. This is where we're all at in an emotional, personal state. We're all focused on this lunar event, right? So when I pull up the chart for February 12th, you can definitely see that there's some stuff going on here. Now, the sun, Mercury, and moon are making a square to Uranus. And Uranus is the natural ruler of Aquarius. So not only is the square connecting them, but there's this deeper message of what we are going to revolutionize, right? So it's really funny that it's like, oh, it was saying out, the first words were just like, the revolution will not be televised, or excuse me, will be televised. Then the first one is where it originally came from. In any case, this full moon has the ability to make us speak out and speak loud. And isn't it interesting that if we put the moon on the first house, we see that Mars will naturally fall in the 11th house, which is the natural ruler of Aquarius, right? So we're bringing in more of this focus of like, okay, what is the streamlined message trying to tell me, right? So with Mars, do you have any Cancer placements where that Mars is kind of getting riled up, right? There might be something that you need to say. And with this Leo archetype, it is the louder, more gregarious, more going to do something with themselves. They're going to speak out loud, hopefully. And with the Sun and Mercury in Aquarius, it really brings this like intellectual need to bring language to groups of people that feel maybe marginalized or feel like they don't have a voice. And that's why I wanted to bring up Kendrick. So we know that for a fact, he won like 8 Grammys the other night, right? That was probably about a week ago. And what's interesting is that it kind of kicked off this energy that he expanded on Sunday. So if we look at the Super Bowl, which happened on Sunday the 9th, and we put it up against Kendrick's chart, we see that he is having a Mars return, right? So this is why I'm saying if you have Cancer placements, this could be something for you to really play with. So I have Venus in Cancer, and it's in the 12th house. So for me, I'm really trying to figure out how I am going to, come out of my shell and how I'm going to appeal to the masses. Like, am I going to have something of value to say, right? And with Cancer, there's this digestive quality where you only come out when you have understood something, when you are emotionally right. So in essence, when Kendrick came out at the Super Bowl, he was already pumped up from the Grammys, having all of this experience under the Venus-Neptune conjunction that happened literally the day before. So, he's under these rays of Venus-Neptune that are still kind of making waves because, as you can see, transiting Venus is over his north node in the 6th house. So, his work and, the way that he serves people is really creating a high level of value because there's an activist in there. There is someone sticking up for, someone sticking up for something, and then also like not sticking with the status quo, right? That's where a lot of this energy is coming from. So it was just like he burst out of the scene and was like, I have something to show you. You wanted to give me this opportunity? Boy, do I have a lot to say. So the moon was there, so it was a very emotional time, and also it's like this nationalist kind of sports event that we all participate in. Some of us, a lot of us are really interested in the halftime show. So, you know, all of us were really rooting for whatever team that we wanted to win, right? And there's an emotional quality to that. You know, you're personally identified with who's going to win and who's not. And so there's that in the air, right? And there's all kinds of differing opinions happening in the world right now, right? And Aquarius, we're seeing, you know, all of these groups being subdivided, no one's coming together. And well, when people are coming together, they're coming together for like this common voice, right? For this recognition of, you know, like minds. So, you know, keep that in your wheelhouse as we continue to talk for a couple minutes. So, you know, the Super Bowl, Sun Mercury was conjunct, which means it's Kazemi. So, you know, he's got the blessings of the king to say whatever he wants in front of the court. And there was just this mashup of all kinds of symbolism happening too. It was really odd. I think a lot of people were unsure how to take it. And if you come from where I come from, where Kendrick is from, you know, when you come from LA and different parts of like Compton and Crenshaw and those types of things, you know what you're facing, right? You know that there's danger. You know that you can't just be sitting out on a bus stop because someone might drive by and give you a run for your money. There's this high level of activism in the chart, in his own chart, right? He's got Jupiter in Aries, and so he's really speaking his mind. And this was square Mars and the moon. And so like, while this was like a pre-planned day, he really was hyped up. And I'm sure that all of the people around him really supported these decisions and helped him roll this thing out, right? So I wanted to bring that to light because, you know, that performance was a broad display of what people are trying to do in the world, whether it be good or bad, right? So if I pull up the full moon chart, again, just by itself, we can see that there is this highly emotional quality happening right now. You know, a lot of people are unhappy. A lot of people are trying to get right in their life, and they're really wanting things to go well. But, you know, this Aquarius sun with Mercury is making us go, okay, wait a second. I can see everything that's happening. Like there's this laser vision. And when we look at this gross, broad display of like coming out and saying, hey, this system that was created was built on the backs of people like me, marginalized people like me, and you still want me to entertain you. So there's this kind of sarcastic, very petty tit for tat. You really have to pay attention to all the details, because with Aquarius, there's a lot of side speak. And I don't mean, it's like more of like the double entendre, right? Like they say a word and they can mean one thing, but it can also mean another thing, and both are equally important and relevant and interconnected. A lot of Aquarian musicians that I've listened to, they use the most eclectic kind of words, and sometimes for a person like me, I have to like pull out my dictionary and be like, what are you saying? And so I think that just that event, and then what's happening out in the world, we're like, what are you saying? You know, like people are speaking loud and kind of either stepping on people's toes, you know, with this Venus, Neptune together still. You know, Venus is in Aries, Neptune is in Pisces. So it's kind of, you know, pulling away from the signs. But, you know, there's this energy of, you know, thinking of other people and really wanting to stand up for what's valuable, what's right, what's, like we said earlier, you know, not the status quo, and, you know, fighting for the underdog and shedding things about ourselves. So this is a very empowering kind of moon, because, you know, there's Leo there. You know, I just taught a class at Synchronicity University, and the very last class was about this activation of creative energy. And, you know, can we make that a spiritual practice? Can it be like something that we do every day? And I say yes, because I'm a Leo. Okay, I'm gonna say that, right? But you know, as I looked through the gamut of people who used creativity as a spiritual practice, and I'm just going to link the book here that I am following and I'm doing. It's like a 12-week program. And it's an extraordinary book because it's really helped me get things out of my head and to dispel self-doubt. So this Aquarian energy can really hammer down on our self-doubt and can make us feel very like overly critical about what we have or haven't done or where we should or shouldn't be. And the Leo moon is kind of like this encouragement of like, well, it doesn't matter what you see. We need to do it anyways, right? So, you know, if you can adopt something like just daily writing for yourself, which I have done. And again, the artist way is, you know, this kind of methodical process, very simple, waking up early in the morning to write down my thoughts first and foremost. And then after that, it's like creativity flows because you're not drowning and droning on the past. You're ready to move forward. And so we have to really lift ourselves up. Some of us have to do that alone. You know, with Mars and Cancer, we might not, or Mars and Cancer in retrograde, we might not have people around us that can give us a hug, you know, that can be there for us. And so it's really like, you know, trying to kickstart internally our own engines so that we can be resourceful for ourselves until the people start coming around. So this group energy, this, you know, finding like minds, this trying to get together and amplify your voices together and, you know, really expand on what is not reachable for other people and really giving accessibility to people that don't normally have that, you know. So, you know, there's this square to Uranus with the sun and the moon. And so, you know, are we thinking about our resources? Most definitely. We're thinking about how high everything is going. And we're trying to figure out, you know, what exactly can we trim? Where can we trim the fat? And, you know, where can we potentially run up against that challenge by creating something? You know, creativity isn't just a paintbrush. Creativity is a form of strategy to really get oneself out of the muck, right? So take these words with a grain of salt, pepper, and add a little ranch, because life is more fun with flavor and seasonings. And so, you know, while this is hard, there are some undertones of us becoming really strong-willed and really understanding that we have this really deep level of self-reliance. So this Mars, you know, it will come out of retrograde soon, never fear. But for now, let's harness the power of going inside and really bringing out what these emotional qualities are trying to bring for us, which is like, you know, standing up for something that we really want to speak out for, you know. So where is that for you? So if you're looking at your own birth chart, I would say take a look at Mars, see if Mars is making an aspect to this this Mars and Cancer placement. That's kind of an advanced thing that you would do. But, you know, just for beginner levels, do you have any placements in Cancer? And are you going back to kind of reclaim and take and grow up from and evolve from and process? Like, are you churning those things out? And, you know, where is this moon falling in your chart? Where's this Leo? You know, what do you need to be loud about? What do you need to get loud about? What voice, what part of you needs to be amplified? And for all of us, it's going to be different because our charts are configured in a different way, right? So I can't collectively say everybody's going to have the same experience, but collectively we are all in the muck together, right? We're watching this thing on TV. We are listening to conversations. We are on or off social media. It doesn't matter. You know, we can't avoid what's happening, right? And for a lot of us, we are watching in horror and also watching in great triumph, because for some of us, you know, this message has great representation for those who haven't seen themselves in that way. So I implore you to really go out and look for things that lift your life, to look at influential people, to look at people who inspire you, because that's going to be the ticket to get you out of this. and to get us to the next phase of where we need to be. So that's the full moon. Take care of yourself. Investigate what's going on around you and take it as these little grains of like, okay, am I ready? Am I prepared? Do I have the tools? Yeah, we all don't have a whole lot of money. We all are small on our resource, but with this full moon, we have to start creating a level where we get together and we share what we've got and to make the resources stretch longer. So, you know, if you've got to carpool to save a little money, if you've got to, you know, the gamut runs when, you know, we're trying to get creative with our resources and making sure that they are properly maintained. And that's very important with the nodal axis, okay? So that's the last thing that I'm going to say because I could probably go on forever. I do want to mention that I am teaching a course. It is a 12-week evolutionary astrology course that goes over how I look at a chart, from the signs, the planets, and the houses, and kind of how to bring that language into your life, how to look for it in movies, and how to see it when people are talking to you. And are they talking with their Libra moon, or are they being triggered because Jupiter's on top of their Mars? You know, these are things that would be cool for you to know, so that you can get to know your family, because, you know, these are the things that we do so that we can be closer, so that we can have more awareness and psychological just change together. You know what I mean? So you can definitely go online and look at all that information on my website. It's astrologyinthewild.com. It's live classes every Sunday until April. So I would love to see you there. I've already got Aries uploaded to the website. It's for $10. So if you feel inclined to learn more about how these things interplay and how to look at a chart, I would like for you to go there. In any case, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Take care.